you niggas stuck your BDK. I was like, oh shit, he's dead. No.
Lock Capone. Yeah, like some
man.
Thanks, bro.
Nah, like you said, when you're not in that mode, you really be like, what is wrong with me? Like,
you know what, too, bro? You know what, too? After you done listening to that music and you coming off that emotional high, it's so sad. I get so sad. Like,
so disappointed in yourself. Like,
yeah, and I want to hug the next brother. Like, I didn't mean that, brother. I was just, I was driving reckless. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you feel bad. Like you listen to some hype shit and you cut somebody off, and then that nigga, and they all wind up parking in the same area, you cut it off like, man, I was an asshole for that bullshit.
Yeah,
hey, bro.
That just when I got back home now, it was like I had a King Von on. And like the guy pulled up next to me, looked at me, and then like looked back real quick, and I was like, "You don't even realize I am harmless." But yeah, man. But like the worst part is like when you're trying to describe like you're trying to put somebody onto it. So like you're trying to describe the whole drill thing, and it's like you start to talk about it. It said, "Yeah, man. So like he shot him, and then like he shot." Like, listen to me. Like,
no, you're
talking about death. You're talking
right.
about like
you ever been in a car with like you ever been like on a road trip with some non-hip hop heads and you play some stuff and they're like, what is this? And then you start listening and you're like, dang, this junk is kind of terrible.
Like, damn.
This is that shit I'm listening to daily.
This is what I put in my spirit all day long.
This is
you're too far going into it. You can't move away from it though.
Yeah.
You get it. And you really into this thing. You know what
right.
I'm saying? Like when it first came out with the Chicago drill and I heard about it, and I'm listening to Chief Keef and I'm listening to everybody he with.
Oh man.
And I'm like, I downloaded everything illegally to listen to it. But I'm like, who is these? I don't know. I'm like, ugh.
It's like, yeah, I don't know these niggas.
All right, I'm in Philadelphia doing this, and I'm riding up and down Philadelphia going,
who is these niggas?
Really, I don't know nobody really there, but I'm acting crazy.
Oh yeah.
They don't want to know me, and I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah. I had bought Chief Keef album when it first came out. I was like, I've only bought like a handful of albums in my life, and Chief Keef's album was one of them. So I had my first car was a red neon. I used to bang that mug in the red. Man.
Yeah, shit. But you know what? You know what else about to bang? This episode, baby. You feel me? Yeah. Episode 69. Get the strap, get the blicky, get the gat, get the burner. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little too hyped for this because this is a sad subject we talking about.
It's one of those things.
First of all, I want to say that was a great intro.
Yeah, it was. Great intro, Jake. Very proud of you, bro.
I'm waiting to y'all like, okay, he said bang. All right, here we go. Here we go. Looking for that moment.
Yep.
Also,
yes.
I want to point out one thing that was a great illustration in which Dan put up too, because when he say bang, the gun is pointing at Mask Off. I don't know if that's symbolism, but I love how I like that. That's what's up.
Yeah, shout out to Dan, man. Dan do so much, man. Big salute. All the graphics that you see every week, Dan's creative juices. Yeah. Every graphic that you see every week, Dan puts the creative juices behind it, and he get it moving, and I love it, man.
You know what?
Thank you.
You know what though, and I hate to be the guy.
Oh my God.
There could be a little bit more he can do. Like he could follow up on the shit he's gonna say he's gonna do. But then again, he does awesome work. So
dang, OG.
There's a
God,
oh, yeah, got the strap. He got the strap.
Just got the Jake one, but this really means Tone is not impressed.
You're right, exactly. Tone is never impressed.
God damn, man.
Even when Tone is impressed, he still be like, yeah, but it was still some bullshit. Like,
well, yes, like I said, I'm your host, Jake. You can pan back out. I'm about to send it to Tone. right up under me. It's the guy who's not impressed. He's tired of the bullshit. Big Tom, what up?
First of all, let's get this clear. I am always impressed with the work that all three of these gentlemen do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just honored to be in this space with them. And with that being said, it's a beautiful week. It's been wonderful. My work week is starting back. So I'm on my Tuesday. You know, if people don't know, I work nights, like overnight. Like while y'all sleep, I'm grinding it out in these mean streets. That's a whole nother story, though. It's my Tuesday. And I'm doing what I can for my fans, man. And also, I just want to point out my new CPAP machine is working wonders. Shout out to the CPAP. Actually, it's not a CPAP. It's a BPAP. That means that they give me an little extra bit of love while I'm sleeping, so I don't breathe out. I breathe in.
It sound like you a blood B. He said, "No, I'm sorry, fam.
It's not a CPAP.
It's a BPAP."
Yeah, so that's what that is. And
we not from 63rd.
Here we go again.
Oh my God! Right next to the homie Tone is the boy, the young bull, Malachi. What up, fam?
What it do, y'all? What it do? I'm in the building like I never left because I never left for real. Feel me? Last week, my boy, my main man, 100 Grand, Antoine, he had a premiere of Narc, the film, feature film, man. He did his thing, man. I'm proud of him. Big salute. What's up, Mascot family? Let's get at it.
For sure. And right above the homie Malachi, the man, we just gave all that praise to, and Tone kind of, I don't know. The producer, man on the ones and twos, El Presidente. Dan, what up?
Yeah, what's good, y'all? Let's do it. Mascot 669. Bang bang.
Bang.
Oh my God!
On block.
That's that shit I don't like. Bang bang. Oh my God.
I can't stop. Let's go. I can't.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, let's just keep it. Let's get right into it for the with the motivational minute. Malachi, what you got for us?
Yep, what it do, y'all? Today's motivational minute is about getting the strap. Not in a physical sense, though. This comes to protecting yourself, and not in just the physical sense. Like I'm saying, you want to protect everything that belongs to you. That's your time, your energy, your efforts, your emotions, your spirit, your livelihood, everything that you own, everything that you possess, everything that you have ownership of. You want to protect that in some type of way. A lot of people come to dump negative energy on you, dump whatever they want to dump on you, or really intrude your personal space, whatever it is. You have the right to protect. You have the right to protect that and protect that energy that you have going on. You know what I'm saying?
Everything so.
I got a call, so I know I got cut out. But protect yourself at all times, at all costs. Protect your energy. Protect what you got going. Protect your situation. That's your motivational minute.
For sure. Thank you, Malachi. Always dropping infinite jewels. Them jewels penetrated through that little technical difficulty.
Yeah, man. You need to protect your phone and put it on Do Not Disturb.
Block unwanted calls.
Yeah.
You know what, too, to follow up on what he's saying, man, protecting your energy. Your energy can mean so much to you. It can change your day. You know, physically, emotionally, you can be having a wonderful day, if somebody hit you with some bullshit and it can throw a curveball at you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So one of the things you got to do is really get the strap, meaning in his way of thinking, protect your energy. And that's so key to do nowadays because you got so many life suckers, man. And I mean by energy takers, and you know they take all this energy from you, and then when they take your energy, you become part of their life-sucking plague. Y'all walking around with a negative phase, negative energy, and 4 or 5 negative people equals what? Voltron and negativity.
Ooh.
You don't want to be a part of that negative force.
Ooh.
So get the strap and protect your energy. And thank you, young boy.
Yeah, man.
Salute.
To that point, then that group leads to a lot of hate, which leads to a lot of death. That's
a lot of drill music.
Yeah.
A lot of drill music. Yeah, definitely.
But then on that point too, you shouldn't like let somebody else dictate how you feel, right? So like they can do something you, and like you can feel the way, but it's like you can't let that fuck up your whole day or week or year.
Yeah.
So it's constantly watching that.
Yeah, and we tend to give energy to bullshit all the time. Like in general, like this is a lot of things that we give power to, and we get so much power to it that it just becomes too unbearable as a society in general. We just do that in general. So we need to check that, like really give power to the things that are important, that matter, and then all the bullshit, just like, you know what I'm saying, let it slide, dust your shoulders off, keep moving. You know? Go ahead, Tom.
And another thing too, I had an old head tell me that sometimes the forces that's working around you have nothing to do with you, but those forces will pull you into it, so you become a part of a force in which you had nothing to do with nothing. Next thing you know, you riding home from work talking about this bullshit. You focused on it while you at work or with your friends. All this negative stuff, it affects you to a point that you become physically ill. Sometimes people, they end up in the hospital, they have a stroke or heart attack because they take in on negative forces in which they couldn't even control. You know what I mean? I know some people who dread even going to work because of negative energy that's there, and they figure, well, in order for me to avoid it, or I'm not even going to be a part of it. But 8 hours in a day, this is consuming you instead of getting your tasks done.
Yeah.
So those are things you need to think about, man. Like, look, this energy is not my energy. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, man. Plus on that, like you can get the strap, which could be you can leave it, or sometimes you need to like confront it too. Like say, no, man, we not about this, and like don't bring that shit to me. Like sometimes that's the best way too, because there's some folks that you might be close with where like you try to leave, but they will find you and bring it to you some way. So like you usually gotta tell them like, no, leave me out of that.
I don't want to talk about none of that shit.
Shut it down. When it comes to the doorstep, shut it down. You in a group, it's like, hey, y'all heard about such and such. Hey man, we ain't gonna be talking about that.
Right? No, I don't need that. Like what Tone was talking about, like you say, wait. One of y'all said something about work, like being at work and yeah. But I remember one time I was driving home from work and I was pissed. I got pissed off. Like it was just, I got like, the manager was like just being an ass to people and whatever. And I'm driving home and I'm just pissed and I'm like all tensed up, like a mean mug, ice grill. And I'm driving home from 75 and Mac all the way back to Southfield. And I'm just like mad, tensed up the whole drive. I don't even realize it. And then I get to like 11 Mile, and I'm at a light, and I just look over, and this lady, she look at me. She's like, what's wrong with you? She just yells across at me like, what's wrong with you? Like, why you so mean? I'm like, oh shit, damn. I've been tensed up the whole damn drive, like 45-minute drive, like, just ice grilled out and shit. And once I just fucking, yes, exactly, like that. Just mean as hell. And then once I like just relax and like, and just like, wait, why am I so mad? Like untensed up and whatever. It just felt better. It just so much better. That all that release. I'm like, damn, like that was a lot of, like I felt that release and I felt tired. Like, damn, I'm saying all that time, fucking all that anger just made me tired and brought me down. Like, damn.
It drains you, man.
Yeah. And they say like, it sound corny or whatever, but they say like it take more muscles to frown than it does to fucking smile or whatever. So you know what I'm saying? That's something to think about. But yeah, let all that don't let that energy, don't let the bad energy get to you and bring you down and all that shit. But
it's a choice.
It is a choice, definitely. But thank you, Malachi, for that motivational minute. Thank you, fellas. Yeah, thank you, fellas, for that. Also, your insight on that. Let's hit the comments.
Yep.
See what's up.
I got Tom on 10 in the house in the Facebook chat. What it do, Tom?
Tom on 10.
That's what he said.
In the comments. All right. I That was a nickname you gave him.
Nah, I read the comments. But you know, I'm with all times, antics, nicknames, and all that. He said that neon truck will be rattling. He said, you know that noise. Yep. Because he spelled it out and I already knew what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely had the neon bumping with the roll your boat windows and everything. You know what I'm saying? Graham Leslie said, great intro. Tom said the best intro. That's a big salute to the fellas and Jake with that intro as well.
Mm-hmm.
He said, shameless plug, Daniel Jackson. Had to salute him. Chopping Dan down better. He feels too good. Right. Talking about OG.
Don't agree with that.
Nah, yeah. Got to keep him high. Shameless plug. Do not disturb. He said the number one strap is stress. Stress kills. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Stress. Stress definitely kills. It will really, because I don't want to segue into that too much, but yeah.
Talk on it.
All right, stress is definitely, and I've been dealing with this in my own life, because sometimes the way I deal with stuff, I deal with it in a stressful manner. And what I've learned is that the pressure of life is already enough pressure. So you don't need to add more pressure to yourself by how you're thinking about it. And it's how you approach the game that's going to take the pressure off, so you can just execute in the fullest way. Sometimes I do these jobs and I'm creating extra pressure, extra stress on myself by how I'm approaching it. It's pressure anyway by just trying to complete it. So just get it done and move on without the extra pressure.
Yeah, man.
All right.
You need to tell me that sometimes too.
Yeah, man.
And that's something I'm working on there too, man. But like, stress is like something that like fucks up just all sorts of your life too, like your health, the way you think. Like, that's like a real thing. Yeah, Tom? It
is.
Yeah, but sometimes you gotta embrace that pressure. Like when you an artist, and most of y'all on here are artists. You know what I mean? Y'all all are artists. So y'all know that pressure only makes you rise to another level. You know what I'm saying? We've been witnessing that with your work, young boy. We witnessed the things you do and make. I mean, just last week with the motivational minute and the what was it?
Gym of the week.
Gym of the week. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? You see the growth and you see what pressure does. You know what I'm saying? The key thing too, though, is to not let pressure build up and overwhelm you and impact you to a degree where, okay, this is too much for me.
Okay.
You know, I don't know what the fuck happened in the Olympics, but be mindful that it's always a good point to take care of your mental health as well, so that pressure don't build up and bust spikes.
Salute. Well said, OG.
Word.
Last one from Tom. He said, preach. Set boundaries with good people, good fences, make good neighbors. That's a classic Tom on 10 phrase. Big salute. That's well said. That's how you got to.
Did he write that? Or did you say that?
Tom making up for last week.
I read everything he said. Okay. I just read it off. That's all, Dan.
Classic. So he wrote, that's a classic Tom on 10 phrase.
That's what he said. Yep. That's exactly what the man said.
He finally get a team, Tom. Shout out to Tom.
Hey, Team Tom in the building.
Shout out to Tom.
That's what we rocking with right now.
All right, for sure, man. Thanks for everybody rocking with us in the comments. We're gonna get right to our group discussion for this week, which is we're gonna talk about guns. You know, episode 69, get the strap. Guns in our society, in our community. You know what I'm saying? Like the impact in our community. Do we need them? Do we need them for protection? Do they have to be in our society? We're going to talk about all those things. So first, I'm going to shoot it to the homie Malachi for the start us off.
Yep. So first we're gonna be talking about the violence in Detroit itself. You know what I'm saying? And to me, what's happening with Detroit specifically is a lot of these young people they have weapons and they're unlicensed. You know what I'm saying? They're unlicensed. They didn't take the proper training. They didn't take the proper anything. They just got a strap. They just got the burner on them. You feel me? And a lot of it is not even really for protection. I mean, it is, but it's also a street credit thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just a thing to say, man, I got that thing on. You know what I'm saying? And they're ready to up it, as the young kids say. You know what I'm saying? They're ready to up the strap. So that's what's going on. You know, these unlicensed, uneducated, unorthodox young people having these weapons, and it's illegal to have a pistol concealed, and you're concealing it because you don't have it legally. You know what I'm saying? So they go into these events, they go into these venues with these straps. Somebody say something wrong to them, they pulling it out. You feel me? So that's where it's starting, because somebody with the proper training and the proper thing, they just move different. You know what I'm saying? First of all, they're gonna have it out and open because that's the law, that you have to have it out, having an open weapon. So I think that's the major issue. And like I said, it's just for the credibility now. It's the street cred. You feel me? Got that burner on me, man. Hey, if he say something to you, let me know, because I got it on me. Like, it don't even be that deep. And a lot of times you got to just get out the jam. It ain't even about, you want to save your life. You don't want to just take somebody else's. Now, if it comes down to that, okay, it's a different story. But a lot of times these young people just want to take a life, and that's what's sad about it. So
they be thinking that bullshit cool sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I don't, and we talk, we in episode 69, right, going into episode 70, and one of the things that we talk highly about, influences. We talked about whether it's media influence, whether it's peer influence, whether it's some type of influence that make you want to do certain things. And I don't know if it's the influence of society itself. We coming out of a pandemic era where everybody is really in an uptick. Everybody's pretty much on guard, and pretty much their ability to think straight is really heightened. They really thinking from a level of low mantra. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I really question about the ability to really think from a perspective of, can I have a conversation with somebody without it going south? Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is, nowadays you have a conversation, you got a gun on you, you automatically got like Superman juice in you, because you expecting things to go a certain kind of way. Mm-hmm. The young boy mentioned you move different when you carry a gun. Mm-hmm. One of my close friends, he carries a burner on him all day long, and his attitude is not a regular attitude, because he's always in defense mode. And I said to him one day, and I don't carry any weapons on me. I've never have. I don't feel the need to. I said, well, why you move the way you move? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know who watching me. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's always somebody out there to get me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, when you looking from a perspective of prey or predator perspective, you always in that mode. You always thinking, well, these niggas out to get me, so I need to be ready just in case I gotta get them. You know what I'm saying? And when did we get to that point? You know what I mean? That's the one thing that I struggle with. And with these gun laws, you know what I mean? They don't do anything to really help prevent a lot of it, because we all know how America is. That's your right, your Second Amendment to carry a weapon. But each state has their own different way of handling that. You know what I mean? We all know Texas, that's you free to carry guns, and I don't know no other state other than Texas that is really free for you to do that.
Most of the South, like most of the South, you start to hear the stuff that goes down in inside the ATL. It's like they like supposed to shoot to kill, and then they just kind of just say, well, this was like a self defense thing there too, like all the time. Like it's. Yeah, just kind of like that, just that lack of respect for life. There again too, where it's just kind of just this thing that they just say, yeah, well, this was a part of this, and like he shot first, so this is good, and it's like, all right, you can't check that too, but on like the youth part too, it's like they don't really like you don't even think long term about it too. Like they just kind of get the gun because it's like that's what they do. Then like their whole group got one. Then the folks that they're trying to shoot get them. Then like they don't even think about what will what
consequences and all that shit.
Yeah. They don't think about that shit at all.
It's the last thing. That's a very good point. It's the last thing from their mind. And a gun is a permanent thing. You can't just you shoot somebody. It don't take much to kill someone with a weapon, with a gun.
For real.
So
yeah,
the weight. Yeah, the weight of what that is, I think, is misconstrued a lot.
For real. To like Tone's point too, just a quick thing there. That kind of I personally feel kind of like with Tone too. It's like when you have the gun, like that brings the use for a gun to your life too. So you now you got this. So like now you see things with that lens of, all right, where can I use this gun? Because I have to, because now I need to like prove to myself like why I needed to protect myself. So you'll find something to protect yourself from to use.
Yeah.
I think it's.
Like,
go ahead, Jake. I'm sorry.
No, so you saying like, Dan, like you get this gun and like people tend to like put them, they kind of like unconsciously put themselves in position to use the gun. Dang.
I promise, yes.
Let me go out at 1 o'clock and get some gas, because
that's
I got that thing. This isn't going to bother me.
That's a good point, Dan. Like you think about anything that you use, right? Like say like if you're a rapper, you gonna carry a microphone, you gonna carry something that you know what I'm saying, that symbolizes this is what you do.
Right.
And you're gonna put yourself in positions where you can always battle rap. You know what I'm saying? and you know, you gonna always
like a friend of ours.
right. You're gonna put yourself in positions. Or if you're a driver or you like NASCAR, what you gonna do? You're gonna get all the cars that you think that's like that. You're gonna drift everywhere. You're gonna do all that. You're gonna be a part of that community. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna put yourself in situations to where what you doing? Shit, you want to drive? You want to ride? You want to race? Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like you want to use those tools. You don't just want to collect them just to collect them. And you know, I got some people out there, that's their thing. You know what I mean? And I'm like this. What are you looking for? Like, what you moving toward? Is this some type apocalyptic type thing about to take place, and you want to be the one that has all the guns that we can go to? It's like, oh yeah, that guy got all the guns. Let's go see him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. All I know is this. At the end of the day, when it gets back to Detroit and other major cities like Chicago, we are having an increasing amount of deaths in our community with senseless handguns. And they're supposed to make these laws extremely hard for people to get handguns at with crazy background checks. What we finding is it's a lot of these kids that are getting guns that shouldn't even have it, and they get them through other resources, whether it's trade centers or gun shows, or I don't even know where the fuck you get guns from nowadays. You know what I'm saying, from nowadays, but it seems like everybody has one, and I'm like, am I missing out on something? Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, and like I'm not trying to like advocate violence of any form at all, but another thing people run and get the strap is because motherfuckers is scared to scrap, man. They scared to fight. Like people scared to take an ass whooping. It's another look. You fight, you win some, you lose some. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying. You might take an ass whooping like 1 or 2 times in your life or whatever. But you know what I'm saying. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they'll lose a fight and then they want to go. They figure like, oh, one thing to get revenge is get a strap and like, you know what I'm saying, and like go shoot this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. And it's just I mean, a lot of people are cowards these days too. You know what I'm saying? With these like we don't need we just don't need these guns. Well, go ahead, Tom. Now I'll move to the next thing I wanted to bring up. But go ahead, Tom.
No, go to your next thing because I want to. Matter of fact, let me touch on that, and I agree with you. I think that if we took away guns, if it was something that was not needed, would this be a uptick in people using hand-to-hand combat? Like, it was a serious thing back in the day. Like, you got to know how to throw them hands.
You had to.
You know what I'm saying? You had to. And, you know, with the increasing amount of guns over the decades, you find out that everybody in the society, whether it's regular people, police, they refuse to use hand-to-hand combat nowadays. I go back to a couple months ago where that young girl in what is it, Columbus, Ohio.
Yep. They
attacked that girl.
They could have took the police could have took her down.
He could have took her down and wrestled with her. All that. You could do real police work. First thing he did was boom, 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 boom. So I don't know.
It's a permanent thing, like you said. You can't erase a bullet wound. I asked 50 Cent.
Yeah. But the next thing I want to talk about, guns in general. And I was like, do we really need these? Do we really need these in our society? Do we really need? Yeah, do we really need them in our society? Pretty much. Dan, do you want to speak on that? Or go ahead, Malachi.
Go ahead, Dan. You got something?
You good?
To me, I say yes, because there are fools out there. There's still fools that are just on BS. You know what I'm saying? They just on whose XYZ can I take? You know, the Bible talks about the enemy walks around like a roaring lion seeking who he can devour. So you have people out there with that evil spirit inside of them, and they seeking who they can fire. Who can I rob? Who can I kill? And if I'm going to rob this person and he tries something on me, I have to take his life. You know what I'm saying? This kind of a rap lyric that French Montana said. He said, if they masked up, they coming for your ice. If they barefaced,
they coming for your life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you have these people out here that are on these agendas that don't make sense. They make sense to them because that's the life that they live and they chose to live. And because you have these people that are on this type of time, you know, it is needed. I have a good friend of mine that I work with, done some work for and stuff. And he told me about the situation because he's a few years older than me. He's married and stuff. And he's always every time he can, he mentions to me that I should get a gun. And he tells me about a story in which he had his gun on him and he actually needed to protect him and his wife. And so it's an interesting story. These guys was trying to holler at him, they ignored, but then he kept trying to zoom past them and stuff like that. So then they pull out an AK out the side of the car. So my man, not knowing if he gonna shoot or not, he shoots first. So to protect the situation, and he was able to speed off and get away. So it's like it is needed because you have these people that's on these type of agendas and they want to steal, kill, and destroy any type of way they can. So everybody doesn't need it, but it's like you have to know the situations that you're in. If you live alone, if you're in Detroit, you know what I'm saying? If you work late, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? It's more necessary. But if you don't really be out sliding like that, you probably don't need one. But if you out in the streets because you need to be, you probably do.
Tom, go ahead.
I disagree. I have a young boy that I know, I grew up with. He walked outside of his house. A dude ambushed him trying to steal his car. Shot him 6 times. Left him for dead. Shout out to the young boy, man. He was able to fight, save his life, and he's alive today. The reason why I bring that up, you can look at it twofold. If he would have had a gun, he would have blah, blah, blah. But regardless if he would have had a gun and he didn't have a gun, that's a life saved. And I think about the person who did it. The person who did that, I'm thinking it would have been 10 times harder for him to try to burglarize this dude and violate this dude like this if he would have had to use his hands. You know what I'm saying? I just look at society itself. United States, we manufacture so many weapons and so many big businesses around weaponry when you have so many cowards. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think from a bigger perspective, like a lot of shit the United States do, even when they go cross country and take over these other lands, they wouldn't be able to do none of this shit if they had the same tactics. You know what I'm saying? And really, you start talking about colonialism. Colonialism wouldn't have took place if they didn't have weaponry in which they did back in the day. We would have been speaking French, or we would have been speaking some other language. You know what I mean? And I'm only speaking from a perspective of, you know, some other countries don't even use handguns, and only people that have any type of weaponry is what the government or high-ranking officials. I don't think it should ever be a point where you can't have a conversation with somebody, or you know what I'm saying, or if you need to go handcuff to handcuff, you doing it on the basis of we fighting. You know what I'm saying, and whoever wins, we win from that point. It should never have to come. You looking at a life that's gone, tragically lost. All the deaths in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? All the deaths that's taking place in Detroit, LA, Houston, all these other places. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just disagree. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to throw your hands in. We live in a world full of cowards.
Yeah, thank you for that, Tone. Yeah, now I actually agree with Tone on that too. Like guns, like we don't need them in society. It just guns. We over years, guns just tend to bring just pain, heartache, and just we just don't need them. We don't like just like the guy just like Tone's friend who survived that ambush. You know what I'm saying? It would have been a lot harder for that dude to do that to my man's. But like all the other, like the mass shootings that happens, people who get their hands on these things, all these innocent people who just get killed. Or just like when you trying to kill some, or like someone if someone owns someone has a gun and they want to go kill somebody and they wound up killing someone else who doesn't even have anything to do with the beef or whatever, or they just catch a stray bullet. They just in their house and they catch a stray bullet and they die off the strength because someone's trying to kill somebody else. You just an innocent bystander. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like we just need to be done with the shit. Like we need to eradicate. Yes, we do. Like I understand like having a gun for protection. Like you need to carry one for protection, but then some of the shit. You just don't need them. You just don't fucking need them. We don't.
Yeah, but it's based on what y'all saying. It's so complex there because I mean, so me personally is like I think that too. Is like I personally don't think that we should have sold guns at the amount that we've sold guns inside this like inside the U.S. at all, and it's like we shouldn't have done that now. And then it's like, but then like when like we start to talk about those laws though, where like they start to find ways to like create more gun laws to try to stop those sales, but then like in some states they shut that down, but then like the next day across they got like free sales where they just pass them out, and then they buy them in that state, and then they move them to those restricted states. So there's just a bunch of guns out there now, and like my kind of thought now is like how do you try to put that lid back on? Not saying you don't try it, and like you should like you should try to do it like across all of the states to try to stop it, but there's so like much like there's all sorts of guns out there now where it's hard to even think of it it's hard for me to think of a U.S. where we don't have those guns now.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part too.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sad part that you can think that way because other countries they had a mass shooting, and I'm gonna speak in particular England. They had a mass shooting that took place there. I think it was like around 96 or something like that, 95, 96. And then gun legislation got passed to say we're turn in all your fucking guns. If you do not turn in your guns, we're going to fucking lock you up. You know what I'm saying? That would never happen in the United States. You know why? Because it's so acceptable. it's a passive conversation, like everything else that we have problems with in today's society. Was LGBTQ, was racial tension, was everything. Everything is such a passive thing because what makes the world move is money. You know what I'm saying? If it's controlled by money, it's profitable. What's profitable in today's society? Drugs and guns. What else is profitable? You know what I'm saying? Pharmaceuticals and death. You know what I'm saying? All these things coincide with each other, man. The United States is one of the biggest places that manufacture all these things that we talk about. You know what I'm saying? We move from a capitalistic standpoint. If it's capitalism involved, we ain't getting rid of shit. We'll appease you and make you think that we're getting rid of it. But at the end of the day, nothing is going to change because it doesn't benefit us to get rid of it.
So yeah,
go ahead, Malachi.
Y'all thing is that it should have never have been. That's what y'all are saying, basically, right?
What, guns?
Yeah, like the reason we don't need them is because we should never have needed them.
I'm gonna be clear. Only people that needed them at the time was colonialism. You know what I'm saying? European colonialists. And we see what took place. When you change the playing field, they was getting their ass kicked with bows and arrows. And then all of a sudden, you got these bullets you made, these pellet guns. Mm-hmm. That changed the game. You know what I'm saying? So you start thinking about, damn, I got to make something stronger. So now, you know what I'm saying? This pellet gun don't work. I got to make a machine gun. Yeah. I got to make a bazooka. I got to do something that's going to up the ante to now. Well, not even now, but they've been talking about nuclear bombs. And you can't have one. I got one. We need to not have one. And those guys got one. So it's like you want to be up the ante each time. So you always stay in control of the narrative. You know what I'm saying? And I think the United States does an excellent thing of that because you got to look at who's running it. You know what I mean? White men who started from a place where they was unprotected and they got protected by getting the strap. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, everybody wasn't moving the way they was moving. And this is a clear-cut example throughout history and time how when they start moving with the strap, everything started changing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think on this last point, a good reference to that is Exterminate All the Brutes. Check that out. I talked about that before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tony, you brought some real good points, and that stuff you were saying before about just how it's all about the money. You think about that and it's just fucking sad. You feel sad and feel hopeless. It's like America versus like what you said that shooting happened in England, London, or
in England.
In England, yeah, and how they kind of just nipped that in the bud and shit. But here it's like we just. It's too much profit, no matter what it is. Like pretty much all the issues we talked about on this show, they're not gonna fix because of money, which is pretty sad, pretty fucking sad. I do want to move to the next point though. We talk about guns for like white people with guns and black people with guns, and just like the huge double standard with that, like. What white people walking around with guns and versus a black person, you know what I'm saying? White, you know what I'm saying? Like we see, what the fuck? Pretty much the racism that goes along with that. So let's talk about that. Malachi, you have Tone, you guys?
I'll talk about it. Let's talk about a couple of years ago. They did a study on YouTube between racial tension within the community, African American communities and suburban communities, which really is catered to white America. And they had a couple things that was going on. They had a black guy walking in a suburban area, and then they had a white guy walking with an AR-15. So the police stopped these gentlemen, and each one was a different type of approach. And one of the things that was very disturbing, you can see with this conversation that this officer is having a conversation with a white guy, opposed to this black guy walking with an AR-15, and literally everybody is on edge. You know what I'm saying? And that speaks volume to itself. Like, damn, black guy got a gun. We gotta stop. Don't move. What are you doing? Code 45. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting to see. Look, he got his gun drawn already.
Automatic.
Get the fuck on the ground, nigga.
Yes, basically.
You know what I mean? So you see the racial tension already, opposed to, and that's so crazy. Like, people say there isn't a racial component, and I've been known to hear from me that I make everything about race. But everything is about race because it's a component in it in which we choose to not discuss. You know what I'm saying? What makes this man interfere this black man with an AR-15 opposed to this other cop walked up to a white man with an AR-15 and had a fucking conversation. A conversation, bro.
Say, hey, buddy, what kind of gun is that there?
So shit.
How many rounds?
Yeah, I think
all those people who walked in. Oh, go ahead.
No,
sorry. No, I was gonna say like all those people that walked in on the Capitol last year with guns.
Yeah.
The motherfucking the insurrection and all that bullshit. Like, this is crazy. But yeah, go ahead, Malcolm.
Yeah, I mean, it starts with how we're treated in society without a gun. Period. It starts with that because we're seen as a threat. A black skin is seen as a threat. Let's just get it out there because it's already out there. So the fact that, you know, you can see me, a black strong man, and you're just scared of what I'm gonna do, period. So then you accompany that with me having a weapon on me. Now I'm a double threat because my skin is a weapon, my skin tone is a weapon, and I have a weapon on me. So it makes it even more scarier for those type of people, instead of it being a person with a gun, you know, because a person with a gun can be a threat, period. You know what I'm saying? It's anybody with a gun. So it's not like we can do more with a weapon. It's not that. It's just you have two weapons on you. It's your skin and your gun. So sad.
Yeah. Like you see inside this where like he now has somebody else came, and like the first thing that guy do is pull out his gun too. So this kind of gets back to those whole laws and stuff too. Like we constantly talk about like creating more gun laws and stuff and trying to make it more strict. But if they just apply those laws to just the black folks, then it's like, all right, one, that completely defeats the point of the laws, and two, it just constantly just harms us too. Because then it's like you get these laws like the New York gun laws. Here's the third card. Like you get the New York gun laws and stuff where they're just like each time a person has a gun now, like that, just like straight up like 5 years off rip, and it's just they constantly use it to just put black folks in jail there too. So they don't make laws. So like they just make the laws. Then like they just use those laws to hurt one side of the U.S. there. Yeah, Tom.
Yeah. And I'm looking at this video, and it's, first of all, this brother light skin. That's a whole other thing, you know.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
That's all another. My whole thing about this is they got all these damn people for this one guy.
Yeah.
With this AR-15, and and look, they're like, the gun is secured. The gun is secured. We got him now. You know what I mean?
Weapon is secured.
The weapon is secured. You know what I mean? And really, that's a great analogy, which is the black guy. You know what I mean?
Because the gun was still sitting there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They didn't take the gun. The gun's still on the ground.
So
it's like, oh, we didn't even see that. Sorry, sir.
You see all these components, man. And
they grab him and it's like, oh wait, there's an AR-15 on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why we're arresting you.
Yeah.
I forgot.
You see all these components, man, and one of the key things that I do want to
Let me
mention.
put my prop crack back in my pocket.
I want to mention this one point before we go forward.
You're lucky you're nice skinned, nigga. We would have killed you.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I want to hear this one point about open carry and concealed guns too. You have to stop playing these games. And I'm speaking for Detroit too. When you go downtown and you around all these lights and cameras, you know what I'm saying, and you ain't correct, and you down there with a handgun, you automatically getting locked up. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And you can debate open and concealed and closed. Your ass getting locked up and nobody talking to you about shit. You know what I mean?
At all.
Yeah.
I know we're about to wrap this up. I just want to bring a couple facts that I thought were interesting as I did some research for this topic. Okay, within the last year, all right, in 2010, 14.4 million background checks for gun purchases. That jumped to 39.7 million in 2020 and 22.2 million just through June 2021 alone. So you see this increase in ammunition bought. And then you also have an estimate 20 million guns were sold last year. 8 million of those sales made by first-time buyers. So within this era, I want to say COVID era, you know, it's this, you know, as OG mentioned, this apocalyptic type of vibe. Everybody want to get a strap, and you have these new gun owners as well getting these straps. Also, we talked about the U.S. being such a bully with this thing here. And actually the Mexican government is suing the United States for gun control. They said the government estimates that 7% of the weapons trafficked to Mexico come from the U.S. And in that 2019 alone, at least 17,000 homicides were linked to trafficked weapons. And the government will seek $10 billion in compensation. So that's a lot. That's a lot of guns coming from the U.S. and that's a lot of money they trying to get as well.
But the flip side to that is we hear about the Mexicans bringing drugs over here, so it's an even exchange. We'll give you guns, give us drugs.
The gun for the weapon, yes. See. So yeah, that's I mean, it's interesting. You know, you have this uptick in purchasing, have this uptick in also murders, and it makes sense.
It's a clear cut. Yeah, you get more guns, you get more deaths out there too. This is a wild.
Which is why we should get rid of the motherfuckers, but we're not, because what was you doing, Tom? What was you doing? That right there. Very sad.
But I was doing that too.
Yeah, but it's fucked up. But yeah, that does it for our group discussion this week. Let's hit the comments. What we got on there?
Yes, sir. I have James Edward Coleman II.
What up, Doe, homie?
What up, Doe? He said, some people feel like they'd rather have it on them and not need it than need it and not have it. That's a good point. On this episode of Pirate Radio just cut out. Shout out to GTA 3 radio station names. That's Tom. He said, he said transmission cut out. The transmission is back. I don't know what he's talking about. But yeah. He said, James also said, Second Amendment. Niggas are mad desperate these days. Hard times, broke, no jobs, police killing us, etc. So these are good points, James.
Yeah, man, that's one thing that I started to think about too, is like, all right, so like, let's just say somebody gets a car, right? And then like they start to see that car as like a way that they can like grow. So like they might say, all right, now with this car, I can like drop to a job, I can like do DoorDash and stuff like that.
Right.
That same type of guy, like might think like once they get a gun, it's like that leads to so now I can rob folks. I can bank it.
Start. Yeah.
Like it's just a tool to like some type of success, I guess.
Club, yeah. Also, we have Tom, he said, background. My dad was a special forces drill instructor for 23 years in the Marines. He specialized in hand-to-hand combat. Your dad know how to whoop somebody yet. He said the story, when I was 12 years old, I asked him, why don't you own a gun? He said, I don't need a gun to kill someone. I'm like, oh, that's good. Hey.
That would make me act right.
Right.
I got them hands.
Tom got them hands.
Where's that Steve Tom battery real quick? Let me make sure that. Hey, all that shit I was talking about your comments at the top. My bad.
My bad, dog. My bad. And then Luke Angel, what up, though? He said the idea of money is powerful. Then the American Revolution. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Tom also said the American dream is at the expense of black people. This quote coming back to me when talking about oppression. Ooh, I like that, Tom. Heart that one. Also, he said, I think this quote comes from the Baldwin's The Fire Next Time. I know it's the only book I read of his so far. Shout out to you, Tom. Always holding it down for us, man. Big salute. We got Aria in the building. She said, hey, fellas, sorry I'm late.
What's up, Aria?
Aria, what's the deal? We haven't seen Aria in a minute, actually. She said, that's big facts, Jake. That was during the group discussion. She said, I'm with you on that one, Big Tone, because I've lived in some rough areas of Detroit, and I've never needed a gun. My mother always says, if you pull a gun, you better be prepared to use it. God forbid you be the person who finds out in the moment that you can't really pull the trigger. Ooh.
Yeah. And they tell you that in them CC Dub classes, like if you pull it out, you better be ready to kill. You better be ready. Because if someone else got the thing too, shit.
Yeah, when I was on my last drill bench, like there was this clip of this kid. This one kid was he was just trying to walk by and like crawl across the street, and like this one kid with like his friends, they started to talk shit. Then like the dude with the friends pulled out a gun to like just kind of like make him run. Man, that guy saw that gun, pulled out his, and shot that kid dead, like just straight up. Which again, this is why I'm watching this to listen to music is beyond me. But
yeah, that's the whole thing with this.
But that's the whole thing too. You get desensitized to it, and then when you desensitize to it, you start making excuses as to why it's okay to take another life. Mm-hmm. Why it's okay, you know what I'm saying, for us to watch this shit and teach our kids. You know what I'm saying? Even when we start looking at toy guns and BB guns, it's acceptable to have these things, which is what? It's gateways to getting real guns and stuff. My mom never bought me a gun. And, you know, she said she didn't want to get me hooked on the idea or the concept that you need a gun. You know what I'm saying?
Same. So, yeah, we didn't have any of that. Like my mom didn't want us to have no water gun, BB gun, fake gun, toy guns. We couldn't act like we was playing to shoot. Yeah.
Yeah, same here. So for the most part.
But it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder too. Did she crutch me in some cases too, though? You know what I'm saying? Like when you start talking about a forgiving spirit, and we talking about revolution, and we talking about moving forward. If motherfuckers killing you, we always turn another cheek. And I go back to that dude who shot them 9 people in that church, and they forgive his spirit. You know what I mean? They like, well, God's got it. You know, so I don't know. It makes me start thinking like, damn, if one of them church members would have had a burner in there.
But it's like, why would they be bringing the burner to the prayer service?
But that's the same thing you asked her about that guy.
Because we a church that keeps it real. We a church that keeps it real. Anymore? No, I don't know. That was stupid. But yeah, that doesn't.
We'll get laid out in the spirit at this church.
Okay.
Jesus will lay hands on you.
Jesus. That's the name. Our Jesus is strapped. That's terrible. That's fucking terrible. Speaking of strap, that does it for our episode 69. Get the strap. Any last things, fellas, before we get out of here?
I feel like this. Go ahead, Malachi.
One more comment. I thought this was interesting. Luke Angel said, "Vaccine is a new strap."
How?
I don't know about that, player.
You just had to put in a new comment there.
I don't know about that, player.
Yeah. Any last things before we get out of here?
I actually have a shameless plug. Tomorrow, 9 a.m.
That's not what we did.
That wasn't what we did.
Yeah, tomorrow 9 a.m. at Inglenook Park, we are having a Get Fit with the Characters event. It's $10. You're going to have a full body workout led by Antoine Jackson. He is a licensed trainer and massage therapist. So we're going to get it in. 8 a.m. is the registration. 8:30 is the warm-up. 9 a.m. starts the workout. $10. Get at me in my DM if you need more information or if you want to pull up. All shapes and sizes, all fitness levels. Let's just work out. You feel me? See y'all tomorrow.
That's super dope. But I do want to mention in reference to this episode, this is an episode that we should do a part 2 too, because there's so much we can tackle to this conversation alone, man. And I think we didn't really tap into. So I don't know. Maybe we could get the strap part 2.
Bang bang.
Yeah, bang.
Get the strap part 2, extra clips. I don't know.
Right.
I like that one.
Episode part 2, spin the block.
Episode part 2, extendo clips.
Right.
Extendo clips.
And just be out of spin the block mean when you do a drive by and you ain't get everybody, you spin the block again.
You don't explain it, bro. You don't explain it.
All right. But yeah,
that is from Melly, who killed his old friends. But Blue Balenciagas go so hard. All right, I'm done.
But yeah,
violent plug.
All right, but we're done. That was episode 69. I'm Jay, homie Big Tone, Malachi, Dan. We out.
Man, who is that? Man, get the strap. No, I'm just